Thank you so much, Mr. Hand. I just wanted to come back for one moment. I don't represent the city of Minneapolis. I represent a southeastern Minnesota congressional district that starts about 20 minutes from the city of Minneapolis. And, I just want to go back to the point of a couple of points that have been made by my colleagues. The first is, what happened in Minneapolis last summer. Many of us, Democrats in the state of Minnesota, spoke out against the violence and the looting. But what happened in Minnesota happened because Derek Chauvin put his knee on George Floyd's throat and murdered him, and we all watched it. So please don't come here and tell me that what happened in Minnesota happened because of the defund the police movement. There is no movement. It is a fraction. You all get so upset when we talk about QAnon, when we talk and compare you to your colleagues who support and stand next to QAnon supporters. And yet you do exactly what you're doing today. I want to read you a quote. And Mr. Chairman, this was entered into the record, but I'm quoted in this Wall Street Journal article that Ms. McMorris Rogers has been referencing here today. And by the way, the city of Savage is in my congressional district. The reporter from the Wall Street Journal was here getting reaction to something happening in Minneapolis from my district. So Savage is a dateline. Savage has nothing to do with any of what you've talked about here today. But my quote in this Wall Street Journal article says, my friend and colleague Tom Emmer knows that it's complete bullshit that I've ever supported the defund the police movement. And yet he leads the National Republican Campaign Committee. And not only will they try to stick that to me, but they will try to stick that to every other swing district Democrat across this country. My colleagues, this amendment is nothing but a part of that effort. We are here today, a Democratic majority in Congress, the majority on energy and commerce, to pass a bill that will fund 911 and law enforcement $10 billion. Any of my Republican colleagues here tonight who vote against this aims are voting against funding law enforcement in our country. It is a sad day, quite frankly, when we think of these serious problems that my Republican colleagues see as a political opportunity to be exploited for votes, rather than sitting down and have a difficult conversation and doing the hard work of figuring out how we support law enforcement and how we support justice in policing across our country. I yield back.